What's good, homies and homettes? In that Beastmode training camp today, we're going to discuss the pros and cons of counting macros. Now, as you may or may not know, a lot of people in the fitness community are promoting flexible dieting, if it fits your macros. Now, by no means is if it fits your macros some kind of easy-ass diet or easy-ass way of dieting. It just simplifies dieting, pretty much protein, carbs, and fats, giving you numbers to hit. Doesn't mean you go around eating a whole bunch of junk and a whole bunch of bullshit. It just pretty much means instead of, having certain type of foods to eat at certain times and all that bullshit, which we know now is, unnecessary, just focus on the numbers. All right. If you want to know more about if it fits your macros, stay tuned for my videos, or just simply Google it. There's plenty of information on if it fits your macros floating around by now. Now, I'm gonna give you some pros and cons about if it fits your macros. Okay. One of the good things about if it fits your macros, it makes it hella simple, which is what I just mentioned. It makes things hella simple. Like I remember when I used to diet, man, and I'll follow a meal plan, or someone will make me a meal plan. They'll probably have wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, eat your oats and eggs or some shit like that. Maybe 12 o'clock, have a shake and a banana. 3 o'clock, sandwich on wheat bread with some baked lays. Some shit like that. I'm pretty sure a lot of us can relate. You know what I mean? And if you ever have the free time, take any meal plan at all, and just pretty much count the protein, carbs, and fats, okay? You'll pretty much get the same results with different foods as long as you hit the protein, carbs, and fats. So one of the great things about if it fits your macros, it makes shit hella simple. Instead of having to eat certain foods and all this crap, what if you don't even like chicken? What if you can't eat pork because of your religion? Do you honestly think that that's going to set you back? No. You just got to hit the protein numbers, the carb numbers, and the fat numbers. It's going to equate to a certain amount of calories, which is going to keep you in a deficit, and you will lose weight. As long as you're getting your micronutrients, your fiber, and everything else. It's all about the numbers, so it just keeps shit hella fucking simple. Another good thing about if it fits your macros is variety. Let me tell you this, man. Please take this from me. You know what I mean? It took me several months, and I mean at least 6 to 8 months. After I heard about if it fits your macros, I still didn't give a fuck. I still ate the same way I've been eating for years, just chicken, rice, veggies, the basic bro foods. I wasn't trying to hear that shit. Let me tell you a reason why I wasn't really trying to hear that shit. No disrespect, but the majority of people that were promoting if it fits your macros, again, no disrespect, a lot of them didn't even look good. Why me or anybody else who's been training the same way they've been training, eating the same way they've been eating, getting amazing results doing it their way, is going to take advice from somebody who, quite frankly, doesn't even look they fucking lift, or even look like they ever fucking dieted in their life. So I was very naive to it. I wasn't trying to hear that shit until I started, making friends that looked good, like people like Matt Ogus. Other people that were following if it fits your macros, Alberto Nunez, a good Facebook friend of mine, who comes in contest shredded, beyond shredded, and just started meeting all these cool people who follow if it fits your macros, and they looked damn good. So I was like, fuck it. In 2012, I decided to give it a shot, and it worked. Like I said, it took me it's kind of like writing with your right hand for years, for all your life, and then you start writing with your left hand all of a sudden. It's gonna feel a little awkward. It felt very awkward. Let me tell you, the first time I ate a lean pocket during a diet, I felt like shit. Like I woke up and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm never gonna get lean. I remember the first time I had some ice cream. I weighed it out and everything. I'm like, man, this is some stupid shit. I weighed out the ice cream serving and everything. Still hit my 250 grams of carbs. And let me tell you, week after week after week, I was getting leaner. And I became a believer. So, in a way, if it fits your macros changed my life, probably even saved my life. Because let me tell you, I've missed out on fucking parties I've missed out on pussy, all because I'm on a diet and they're going places that didn't fit my diet. You know, they didn't have chicken breast and rice there. I wasn't going. So now it enables me to have more of a social life. Me and my girlfriend can go out to eat. You know, I can go to IHOP every morning. You know, I can have pancakes every now and then. So it definitely gives you more variety. Another good thing about tracking macros is you're less likely to plateau. And let me explain. If you're the type of person like I used to be, pretty much, you know, I even mentioned this on the last Ask Beastmode show. I think he was the second guy. Anyway, pretty much you're eyeballing everything. You're one of these guys, okay, I eat 5 to 6 meals a day. I eat chicken and rice every meal. I'm eating healthy as fuck. I should stay lean as fuck, right? Wrong. Because even though you're eating healthy, you're eating your chicken, you're eating your rice, you know, you're still hitting a certain carb number, no matter what that source is. So let's say you're eating rice every meal, brown rice, and you're getting like 300 to 400 grams of carbs. Well, if you're not in a deficit, you need to cut back on the carbs, you know what I mean? So instead of trying to figure out where to begin and what you need to do and, you know, eyeballing shit, you know, if you're tracking macros, it's just simple. I'm going to cut back on some carbs and you can keep the shit rolling. So you're less likely to plateau in your diet. You know, there's nothing more frustrating, and I've been there. Dieting a whole fucking week, and you get on the scale a week later and you ain't lost shit. Or even worse, you've gained. That's the most frustrating shit, and I have no words how frustrating that is. Especially if you really didn't cheat on your diet and you did your cardio when you didn't feel like doing it, all because you hope to get leaner. There's no worse feeling than that at all. So tracking macros is going to save you a lot of heartache and a lot of stress, okay? Now, let's get to some negative parts about tracking macros. Just a couple of negatives. One of the negative things about tracking macros is it can be a pain in the ass sometimes. A big pain in the ass. You know, like for an example, when you're trying a brand new recipe you never tried before in your life, right? And you're on a diet, you're tracking macros, you're only getting a certain amount of carbs, protein, and fats. Well, you gotta weigh all your ingredients, you gotta read the labels. Instead of just putting the shit together and eating it, it takes you an extra maybe 5 to 10 minutes to weigh those ingredients, read the labels, and make sure that shit fits your macros. Especially if it's your last meal. The worst meal to fit in your macros is always that last meal. You know what I mean? It's easy to fit the first or the second meal, but that last meal is the worst. You know what I mean? But anyway, so yes, definitely a pain in the ass sometimes. Sometimes you may get a phone call from a friend and may want to go out to eat, and you already had in your mind what you were already going to eat. Now you got to go on MyFitnessPal and rearrange your fucking foods just so you can go out to eat with a friend. You know, so it could definitely be a pain in the ass. It's like a part-time job tracking macros at times. Okay? And last but not least, another negative thing about tracking macros is I've been there before myself. Which is why I don't track macros when I bulk. I only track macros when I cut. Because tracking macros can actually fuck up your relationship big time with food. And let me try to explain. If you track macros for a period of time, after a while, you're not even gonna fucking see food anymore. All you're gonna see is numbers. Remember that movie Matrix where that computer operator guy it was all those green numbers on the screen? And Neo asked him, how do you see all that? And he said, I don't even see these numbers anymore. All I see is red hair, yellow hair, blonde, brunette, whatever. That's kind of how it becomes with tracking macros. You don't even see pizza no more. You don't even see hamburger no more. All you see is fucking 30 carbs, 40 fats, 100, you know, grams of protein, whatever. It's like, it'll fuck you up, man. And like, you'll be able to eat with friends and family members, and you'll kind of catch yourself trying to figure out how many macros on everybody's plate. You know, it just fucks with you after a while, man. So I like to take mental breaks from tracking macros. People say you probably stay a lot leaner when you bulk, and I think so. I think you would stay a lot leaner when you bulk if you track during a bulk. But me personally, it's not worth my mentality. It's not worth my sanity. I only track macros when I cut because I need a mental break from that shit. That shit fucks with me. Now, I know a lot of people, you know, who can track macros all year and it won't bother them. But for me, I need a break from that kind of shit. It can really fuck you up mentally, man, when all you're starting to see is numbers everywhere you go, you know. Hamburger, pizza, nachos. You just constantly try to figure out what kind of macros is in this shit, you know. Even Thanksgiving, I was having Thanksgiving dinner, you know, and I was eating turkey and dressing and fucking ribs and shit, and I was, in the back of my mind, I was like, damn, I'm taking in about 110 grams of fat here. No way in hell this could fit my macros at all, you know. It kind of takes the fun away out of life in a sense. Well, anyway, those are my tips about pros and cons of tracking macros. And for the record, I highly recommend tracking macros. You know, I recommend not letting bodybuilding take over your life. I recommend flexibility in anything you do. You know, too much of anything can be a bad thing, you know. That's why we need balance in life. You know, all my clients, I have them track macros. I have them weigh their shit. You know, if you're hiring me, of course we're going to keep shit simple. And there's nothing more simple than tracking macros. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like my shit, comment, subscribe, holla back at your boy.